quickly. Iguodala to Thompson. Hemmed in, stapled in, threw the ball away, loose, and picked up by Looney into Thompson. The hesitation in the two.
A game of inches. That's how it ended. The Warriors take the lead in the series in a game that reminded everyone, which was their message, of how the Dubs won championships without Kevin Durant. KD goes down, 2 minutes up in the third. Questions about how serious. They say calf strain. We'll continue to watch that and have more and hear from the Warriors and hopefully have more information on it. But afterwards, Steph Curry had 16 of his 25, and the Warriors are able to close it out. Welcome to Game Time Live Playoff Edition. Two Hall of Famers, Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas. I'm just hanging out with them. We've got a lot to get to on both sides, but let's start with a sequence that changed the game in about 30 seconds with 3 minutes to go. Draymond Green has been looking to draw that foul all game, but on the way out, perhaps a little bit too exuberant, gets a technical called on him. Chris Paul still on the ground. T is called. Harden hits the free throw, and you wonder whether or not that's the tide turner, guys, the other way, but then this happens. Draymond, guarded by P.J. Tucker, eventually finds his way for the three-point line with a big shot. He'd end up fouling out, but that was a key possession. How key? Guys, otherwise down the floor, the Rockets looking to answer. They'd have an opportunity. They've had some big threes in this game. P.J. Tucker's been doing it all series. Follow him. He'll end up in the corner, bottom of your screen, with an opportunity to answer back from Gordon. Unfortunately, what you can't see, and you will, is that he stepped on the line. The three negated. All of a sudden, next possession. Offensive rebounds. Three huge ones in the final 4 minutes. This one from Looney. Extra pass. The swing to Clay. And between the three from Draymond, the missed one from Tucker, and that three from Thompson, all of a sudden, down 1 to up 5. Warriors able to hold on from there. And you could tell, guys, from the way Draymond played and Steph, who was 5 of his first 6, Zeke, after KD went down, there was certainly hey, look, we want to win one for KD and win. But you could tell there was a little extra, okay, we're still the Warriors who won a couple of titles before that dude got here, and we're going to show you we're still that team.
Well, they have that championship, pedigree. They have that championship mentality, and they've been through all of the tough times. And not only have they been through those tough times, but they've found a way to persevere. And with KD going down, they came together, regrouped. All of a sudden, Curry, who couldn't make shots, was missing layups. KD goes down, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, he comes alive. He lights up. He starts making shots. Clay continues to make shots. But the biggest shot, as you said earlier, was Draymond's three.
Yes. That
I thought really gave them some excitement, and not only gave them some excitement, but gave them some added confidence, Grant, because it just wasn't about Clay and Steph. With Draymond making that shot, I thought they both was like, okay, we still got a third person that can score for us.
Yeah, those three guys who are their core guys who were there before they started winning championships, helped build that culture, build that dynasty, stepped up big in the fourth quarter. And that sequence, as you talked about, that charge for Draymond, and then coming down on the other end and knocking down a three. That was
Tucker.
And then, that was it right there.
Yeah.
Those three guys, that core, they stepped up big.
Here's Mike D'Antoni after the loss.
Way back into the game, and Durant being out, that you guys missed an opportunity here.
Well, anytime we lose, we feel like we missed an opportunity. It's, they hit bigger shots probably than we did. So they did their part. It was just, again, few loose balls, few rebounds we just didn't come up with, which we have been. And we got to come up with them. And we got to, we started the game well, but then they got up on us 20 points. It's hard to battle all the way back, which we did, and then go into the fourth quarter, we're tied, and we just didn't get it done.
Mike, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. James was so good for most of the game, but kind of quiet in the fourth. What did you see down the stretch from him?
Well, does whatever we need to be done. He kind of let it go a little bit, but we scored every time that he was kind of quiet, and he reads that. But I thought he played a monster game. He played 44 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever we need from him, he gives us. I thought he was great. We just weren't real sharp early. When we went down 20, then it looked like we gathered it and righted ourselves. But a lot of times when you do that, you exhale a little bit, and they're good. Can't do it.
Any other questions? Mark?
Mike, how do you look at things now, going back to Houston down 3-2? How do you look at the series now?
Well, obviously now, we got 2 more games, got to win them both. And we are home, and it's just a must win. But, we know that. This is the must win tonight. And if it is the must win tomorrow, it's always a must win. So we'll be ready. Now it's just a time to gather our energy and see what happens on Friday. But, we're home and try to get a win and come back up here and get one.
The difficulty Chris had to just get open looks and for Clint to have clean catches and so on, is that just remove too much margin of error to take those 2 guys so much out of the offense, not get their normal production?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But they'll bounce back. We'll be ready on Friday, and that's the big thing. And everybody can have off a little bit off nights, off this, off that. But I don't have any doubt they'll be back full strength on Friday. And, again, if we're good enough, we can beat them. But if we're not good enough, then they're going to beat us. So it's a competition, and we got our home court, and let's go take care of business there. And then the series starts. It starts, when you come back up here, it'll start. And whoever wins that one, obviously, will be the winner. But, it's not a do or – I mean, it is a do or die, but I feel good about it. I feel that we played well enough to win a couple games up here. We just didn't get it done. So keep the feeling, take care of business at home, and come back up and try to get it.
Thank you.
Well, good. Thanks.
You heard there from Mike D'Antoni. They will have home court. We will get plenty more into KD and information, I'm sure, coming from Coach Kerr in a couple minutes. We'll see whether or not, and he had the same calf strain in 2017, missed 2 games. We'll see what happens. Obviously, it's the playoffs. A couple of things to note from looking at the statistics here. Nobody in the starting lineup for the Rockets was worse than a -1. Austin Rivers, a -20 in 24 minutes. The bench did not play well. The other thing we got to talk about is James Harden, who, look, the usage that he had during that month of the season, guys, where everyone was injured, the numbers were incredible, but we wondered, would he tire? After KD goes down, don't you want more aggression? He took 4 shots. He made 3 of them. But we're talking about the entire fourth plus 2 minutes. To do the math, 14 minutes of play, and he took 4 shots, in which he only missed 1. Don't you want more aggressiveness out of an MVP when you see, like you talked about in pregame, a weakness of your opponent? Don't you want to see James go to the basket more? Do more?
You do, and you do question whether or not he was tired. I thought when Durant went down, I thought, okay, this is
right.
Like Harden's going to take over.
Yes.
He smells the blood in the water. Mm-hmm. He's going to go for it. And surprisingly, he didn't. And it wasn't like Golden State was really doing anything on you. They weren't trapping him. They were switching the screen and roll. He just looked to not be aggressive, wasn't attacking. And in that stretch there, the last sort of 6 minutes, 5 minutes, he wasn't getting the ball. I mean, it's a guy who's had the ball in his hands the whole game. And there were a lot of possessions. Chris Paul, who was trying to make plays off the dribble and was struggling getting by and turning the corner. So a little bit alarming if you're Houston. I'm not sure if he was overwhelmed by the moment. I doubt that. I think it was probably a little bit of fatigue. But you just can't be fatigued right now. You almost can live with him taking bad shots, taking tired shots. But you want the ball in your best player's hands, and Houston failed to do that.
2 years ago, we had all those conversations in the offseason. Are there going to be enough basketballs for the two of them? And look, they've had a tremendous amount of success. But it looked like it was a problem there at that point where you want James to have the ball. Chris took double the shots he did during that time, 3 of 14 overall. And for James, 10 of 16, efficient, 8 of 10 at the line, 31 points. But I'm looking at those numbers thinking, geez, would have been nice to see him take more shots in the fourth, Zeke.
Yeah, and it would have been nice, but you do have to give Golden State some credit. I thought they defended him well. And I also thought that, Chris probably could have made a couple of more plays, didn't make them, which I thought really hurt the Rockets down at the end, because even if Harden was tired, Paul didn't really give him that extra oomph that he probably needed out on the floor at that time. Gordon is not a guy that puts it on the floor. He's a guy that, waits for the shot. So I just thought that Golden State did a much better job down at the end defending him. And when Durant went out, I thought Houston really missed their opportunity to take advantage. There was a 2-minute stretch there where they clawed back into the game and then even went up 1. But they couldn't quite really close the door. They left the door open, and I think